So in this series, I want to talk to you about trading psychology, which is one of the most powerful part of trading. Trading requires very strong mind, and which we call it trading psychology. I think trading psychology is 80% of trading. Technical analysis or your setup, whatsoever you call it, is just the 20% of trading. So you have to focus on the 80% to understand or to be sustainable in trading. So which is trading psychology. So in this part, I will just be taking you through the trading psychology. First, I want you to know that successful trading depends more on psychology than strategy. Your strategy will not define your sustainability or the profit you have over time. It's your psychology, is how you manage your trade, how you do your trade, how your mindset perceive the trading environment. That is what will keep you in this game long time. Also learn to think in probability and to evaluate performance over a series of trade. Now, what is series of trade? Series of trade is like having 20 trades to evaluate on. Don't just trade on one-to-one trade basis. This is the principle that Mark Douglas teach throughout his trading psychology shop and other. Go and look for Trading in the Zone, written by Mark Douglas. This principle, I got it from Mark Douglas. I think when I come across Trading in the Zone, or when I come across Mark Douglas in 2020, around 2021, my trading shifted. So learn this. It will save you from a lot of trouble, a lot of pain. You have to learn how to think in probability, and you cannot think in probability if you don't evaluate your performance over a series of trade. How do you do that? You must have a series of trades that you are willing to take in a month or in a week. For example, 20 trades in a month, 15 trades in a month. Now, this is it. When you have your 20 trade in a month, what you do is you don't conclude on your profit on the first trading that you have. I will show you through this lecture so that you will understand that trading is not as a result of one trade or two trades. For you to know whether your strategy is working, then you must take like 20 trade. You must pick 20 trade and evaluate them at the end of the day. Then you will see the impact of that strategy. So never evaluate your performance on just one trade. Evaluate it on 20 trade. I will show you in the next slide. I want you to know core concept of this principle is a single trade outcome is random. How? When you pick a trade on a single trade, for example, we will just tag it as a random result because what? It have not been tested over 20 trade or series of trades. Why? Because even a perfect setup can lose. Is always uncertain. So if you want to trade professionally, you must understand that our point 3 said professional traders evaluate performance over many trades rather than judging on one trade. So as a professional trader, don't judge your trade on just one trade. Judge your trade based on series of trade, like 20 trade. The moment you adopt this mindset, you will see that your trading will start becoming more easier for you, because all the tension, all the pressure, all the pain that comes with this is a loss, this is a win, it will disappear automatically, because what? You are not evaluating your trade based on just one trade, right? So you got to start trading just like a professional, because you cannot evaluate your performance just on just one trade. So this is the secret. Trade based on series of trade. Have 20 trade. This month I will evaluate my trading based on 20 trade, and let's see how it goes. Why are we saying that single trade can mislead you or can cause you pain, and it may not give you sustainability, and you may not be sustainable in? You have to understand that many traders become emotionally attached to one trade. Why? Because they just want this trade to hit their target. They expect every trade to win, and which is not so when it comes to trading. So whenever losses occur, they experience fear, anger, and also they experience revenge in trading. That is why you will see some people going back to the market. They want to what? They want to revenge back, and they just want to have their profit back, right? So losses occur, they experience that fear, because what? They are treating this trading of a thing based on trade to trade basis instead of series of trade, and which is dangerous for you as a trader. So pick up your journal, count 1 to 20 on your journal, and start to count your trade from 1. Pick 20 trade in the space of 20 days, or 1 month, then see the result. How many trades have you taken? 20. In that 20 trade, how many trade were you able to secure your trade, win your trade, and how many losses did you pick? From there, then you will define your sustainability or your profitability, right? The probability mindset will help you guarantee your next trade. When you pick series of trade, for example, when you pick the first trade and it's a loss, second trade is also a loss, third trade is also a loss, you will not start revenge trading, because what? You know that for you to be profitable, you need 20 trade, because what? You know trading is a game of probability. So this trade does not guarantee the other. It's not a guarantee that the next trade will be a win. It only guarantees profitability over a large sample of trade. So probability mindset knows that one trade cannot define my profitability, second trade, third trade, fourth trade, fifth trade cannot determine whether I'm profitable or not. But I have to gather a series of trades to know if I'm what? I'm profitable, right? So now let me give you an example of distribution of trade. We'll give you sustainability, will guarantee your sustainability. Now I want you to know that even a profitable trade strategy can produce several losses in a row. Have that at the back of your mind, that a profitable strategy can produce several losses in a row. You can have 7 losses in a row, which is okay, right? Let me give you an example in a sequence so that you understand. Now, you can see, for example, here, you pick the first trade, which is lost. You pick the second trade. I want you to pay attention here so that you understand this concept and principle. This is the major explanation that will give you the secret of sustainability. You pick this first trade lost, second trade is a loss, and third trade is a win, right? So you went for the fourth trade, is also a loss, right? You went for the fifth, it's a win, right? Went for the sixth, it's a win. Went for the last, it's a loss, right? How many trade do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So it's 7 trade. So in this 7 trade, how many losses do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? How many win do we have here? 1, 2, 3, right? So you picked 7 trade in this week and you lost 4 and you win 3, right? So on each loss, you were willing to lose 1%, right? You are risking 1%. So when you risk 1%, the second one, you risk 1%. Now you have a loss of 2% this week, right? The next one, you always look for 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, for example. So the next one is a win. And you were targeting for 2%. Remember, each trade you are picking, your loss is tagged in on risk of 1%. So your win is 2% or 3%. So let us just tag this win for 2%. So you have 2%, right? This is a win. Can you see that the first win have already even balanced these 2 losses? But let us not go to that first. So you have a win here. The next one is a loss, right? Which is 1%, right? The next win, 2% plus 2%. Another plus 2%. The last one minus 1%. So in all, we have what? We have 4 losses, which is what? Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, which is 4%. So in this week, we picked 4 losses, which is minus 4% on each trade, right? So on the winning side, we picked plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Can you see that? So we lost 4%, we win in the 3 places, which is win 2%, 2%, 2%, 4, 6. So these 2 win have already have already closed the gap of the 4. And you what? You close up the week with what? With 2% profit. Can you see the magic? So that is how you can be sustainable on a series of trade, not on trade to trade basis. So imagine you are picking plus 3%, plus 3%, plus 3%, 1 to 3, right? It means 6, this 2 win is 6, right? You have already 2 win on 2% win on what? Then plus this 3, then what? It means you have closed the week with what? With 5%, because you are picking on each trade, you are picking plus 3% profit. So over time, the edge becomes visible because what you are picking all your trade based on series of trade from what 1 to 10 or 1 to 20, right? I want you to know the five truth of trading. Anything can happen in the market. So you must adopt this strategy. You must adopt the strategy toward to maintain sustainability over time. Then at the end of the week, you pay yourself, or at the end of the month, you pay yourself when you are trading based on series of trading, right? You do not. Another second truth I want you to know is you do not need to know what will happen next to make money. Okay, because you are trading based on series of trading. Another is win and losses are randomly distributed. Win and losses are randomly distributed. So this win should not define your next trading, and this loss should not define your next trading. What mattered a lot is that you, at the end of the day, you evaluate your trading and see the profit you have made over time, right? And edge works over a series of trade. So what I'm trying to showcase to you is all these 7 or 20 trade of series of trade that you are picking is like a sample size to you. Is your sample size of determining or defining your edge or your setup. So knowing that every moment is unique in the market will help you a lot. So that's just it. So what is the benefit of thinking in series of trade? It reduce emotional pressure. To reduce your emotional pressure, it also improve your discipline. It builds confidence in your strategy because what you know over time that this strategy have been giving you the profit that you need over time. Because what you have your conclusion of profitability on the strategy is based on 20 trade or 15 trade or 10 trade, not on just one trade, because you can pick your perfect setup, perfect strategy today and it still fail because what every market environment is unique. Anything can come up, news can come up and anything. So it builds your confidence in strategy over time, and you have confidence in you trading and the market. So it also help you help traders follow their trading plan. It will help you follow your trading plan because what the pressure of one to one trade is not there again. So you will follow your trading plan because you know at the end of the trade and the end of the plan, you will have profit at the end of the day. Professional trading approach risks a small percentage per trade and execute every valid setup. Risks a small percentage per trade, which is I said to you that you are risking 1% and looking for what? Looking for 2 to 3%, right? Execute every valid. Do not change strategy during the series. So you cannot be changing strategy while you are on your series of trade. You pick your strategy and at the end of the day you are trading. You are supposed to take 20 trade. After taking 10, then you say, this strategy is not working. No, that is not how trading is done. You follow the strategy consistently, 20 trade. At the end of the day, when you evaluate your performance, what you do is, what am I supposed to improve on this? What am I supposed to do on this? What am I supposed to do on this to improve the strategy? That's all. So you evaluate result after 20 to 20 trade and you are perfect. You are good to go. You're just good to go. So I want you to know the key takeaway. The goal is not to win every trade. You will not win every trade. You will not win every trade. The goal is to execute your edge consistently over a series of trades. So when done correctly, then probability will work in your favor. So that's just it. Have a look, go and design, pick up your journal, design 20 series of trade, know your strategy, look for your series of trade, don't trade on trade to trade basis, and you will thank me. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.